So to begin today's video, we actually pick up where the last video left off at. Remember, the Avengers had gone to space to fight against the Builders. They were able to win that battle, but then they got word that Thanos had taken over the Earth. Well, really invaded it. Either way, you had the Avengers fight their way back to Earth. At the end of our last video, the Avengers were able to break through the forces of Thanos. So we see that after everything they have gone through in the last couple videos, the only thing standing in their way to finally having a day of rest is Thanos. So we see that the Avengers were able to make it back to Earth. Now, in our last video, we saw Iron Man tell Captain America to go after Thanos, while the Illuminati try to stop the forces of Thanos left in Wakanda. So now you have Captain America, Captain Marvel, Hulk, Thor, and Hyperion are going to be the ones to fight against Thanos and hoping that they can actually stop him. Now, not all of the Avengers are back on Earth. Some of the Avengers are still fighting in the space against the forces of Thanos. They want to make sure that they take care of all of Thanos' forces. So now we see Cannonball and Smasher being able to work together to actually beat up some of the spaceships that are in space. But getting back over to Wakanda, let's not forget Thanos had gone to Wakanda originally looking for the Time Stone. Of course, he was unable to find the Time Stone, but he did find the bombs the Illuminati had made to help them stop the incursions from happening on Earth. With that happening, Thanos had made Supergiant a telepath to read the mind of Black Bolt so that he can learn more about those bombs and other secrets the Illuminati has. So when the rest of the Illuminati make it to their lab, they find that Supergiant has supercharged the bombs and they are getting ready to go off. Also, she is holding onto Black Bolt as a hostage as well. She even makes Black Bolt use his sonic scream on the Illuminati. Now, most of the Illuminati get knocked out by Black Bolt's sonic scream, but of course, one member is going to stand up against Supergiant, and that person is going to be Doctor Strange. Getting back to Thanos, we see him right now getting word on what is happening at the moment in space, with the Avengers destroying his forces in space. Either way, he doesn't care, because the only thing he cares about is killing his son, the one thing he came to Earth for. There were some other things, but this was his main goal. So he's about to get ready to kill Thane, his son. But you have Hulk appear, and of course Hulk is going to fight against Thanos. Now, for you Hulk fans out there, sorry to say that this version of the Hulk is not strong enough to actually stop Thanos. Thanos sends Hulk flying away, and then Corvus Glaive and Proximus Midnight jump into the fight against the Hulk. Now, they are too much for the Hulk to deal with on his own, which makes sense, since these guys were chosen by Thanos to be in his Black Order. Except right when it seems the Hulk is about to be killed off by the Black Order, well, that is the moment we see the rest of the Avengers who had crashed on Earth arrive to stop the killing of the Hulk. But getting back over to the Illuminati, we see that Supergiant is still holding on to Black Bolt. Now, this is not going to last because you do have the Illuminati being able to stop Supergiant for a brief moment. Now again, only a brief moment, because right after they were able to stop him, or stop her, sorry, well, that is the moment you see her about to activate the bombs. But before she does, she kind of gives us her origin story, which is how Thanos was able to find her. Thanos found her in an orphanage, but the reason why Thanos had gone there was the same purpose he came to Earth, to kill his children. One of his children was there at the same orphanage that Supergiant was at. Matter of fact, Supergiant and that child were very close. Now, once Thanos killed that child, he promised he would do the same for Supergiant, but only after she helped him kill all of his children across the universe. Since Thane is the last one, she is now ready to set the bombs off so that it can destroy the entire planet. so Thanos could give her what she wanted, which is death. But getting back to the members of the Black Order and Thanos that are fighting against the forces of the Avengers, now the Avengers really don't stand a chance against these guys, and they are getting their butt kicked. Really only Proximus Midnight and Corvus Glaives are fighting against the Avengers, while Thanos does a few things here and there. But while everyone is fighting against each other, well, you have Ebony Maw, the last member of the Black Order, talking to Thing. Now, the thing he is saying to Thing is really him making Thing think that all hope is lost. Because when it comes to Thanos, he kills hope in people. Hope that people have when it comes to surviving against Thanos. But Ebony Maw is doing this for a special reason, and you will see that special reason very soon. But getting back over to Supergiant, we see that she's getting ready to set off the bombs that will of course blow up the entire planet. The only problem is that she is missing the trigger, and the trigger is in the hands of Maximus the Mad, the brother of Black Bolt. But with him holding the bomb, you have Maximus call in Lockjaw, the inhuman dog that has the ability to teleport. That is huge, because you have Lockjaw teleport Supergiant and the bombs to a random dead planet, and then teleports back to Earth, leaving Supergiant there by herself. Before she's able to do anything, the bombs go off, blowing the entire planet and Supergiant with it, meaning that she is now dead, and that is another member of the Black Order who is now gone and out of the way. Back up in space with the Avengers, who are still fighting against the forces of Thanos and trying to regain the space station known as the Peak, which they are able to do. But there is a big moment in this book, and that is Starbrand. We saw him appear in the last White event. He was given powers to lead the human race into the next step of evolution. He was only chosen thanks to Ex Nihilo trying to evolve the Earth. Either way, with his powers, he was able to send a huge blast, blowing up a section of Thanos' army, which of course makes the rest of the army run away scared from the Avengers and Starbrand. But getting back over to the Black Order and Thanos, who are fighting against the Avengers are still getting their butt kicked by Thanos and the Black Order, except here comes the big moment that actually gives the Avengers the chance to win it all, and it comes to the moment where Proximus Midnight tries to kill both Captain America and Captain Marvel with some projectiles from her weapon. Except Captain America is able to use his shield to protect them from the attack, and her projectiles just bounce off Captain America's shield. Now with that happening, some of those projectiles actually had landed and hit Corvus Glaive, which of course weakens him just enough to give Hyperion the chance he needs to win this battle, because he was losing this battle at first. And this is the man who is basically the Marvel's version of Superman over at DC. Either way, he was able to bounce back and completely kill off Corvus Glaive just like that. So now 3 of the 5 Black Order is dead. Supergiant was blown up on a different planet, and the Black Dwarf had his head smashed in our last video. So right now the Black Order is falling apart very quickly. Now you do have Thanos step in and once again to fight against the Avengers, but most of the Avengers are beaten since they have been battling against the Builders and then had to fight against Thanos and his army. But one member still has some energy left, and that person is Thor, the god of thunder. And you have Thor at first try to send down some lightning, but then he tries to use his hammer against Thanos, but he is still not strong enough to stop Thanos. Thanos is on another level. He is too powerful, but while this fight is going on, you have Ebony Maw still talking to Thing, the son of Thanos. He is trying to get in his mind, and the reason why is to use Thing to actually defeat Thanos. Ebony Maw knows how powerful Thing can truly be. So we get to the moment where we see Thanos is just whooping the Avengers' butt, and no one can help them defeat Thanos except one person, and that person is no other than Thane. But Thane is afraid to use his powers because in his left hand he has the ability to kill anyone. Now without the armor he is wearing, he can kill anyone without touching them. But with it on to help him control his powers, he has to touch them to kill them. But in his right hand, he has a different ability. With Ebony Maw getting in his head and Ebony Maw letting the shield down, Thane learns what kind of powers he has in his right hand. And as soon as he raises his right hand, all we see is a flash and left to wonder what just happened. Some time passes by, and we see that Iron Man and the rest of the Illuminati have finally met up with the Avengers. When they do, Captain America is wondering what had happened. That is the moment you have Iron Man tell Captain America and the rest of the Avengers that Thane has saved the day. This is the moment we learn what Thane was able to do, which is that he used his right hand power. What it does, it put Thanos in Proximus Midnight in some kind of stasis cube, basically making Thanos a prisoner, and the Avengers can say that this is finally over and they won. So now we get into the wind down of the story, which is that we see what Black Bolt and Maximus are up to, because Maximus wants to know what is Black Bolt's master plan is, because we have seen Black Bolt do a lot of things in the last couple videos. He sent the royal family of the Inhumans and the Inhumans who were staying in the Atelian away and blew up the Atelian. We were left to believe that he did that to stop Thanos, but there is something else up his sleeve. The bomb released the Terrigen Mist and have it travel around the world to booster up the population of the Inhumans up. Now there are some things that do come out of the big ending of this. The gardeners that were made by the builders, they went on to recreate life, and the Shi'ar Empire decided to expand their empire to protect planets that need protecting. Ronan the Accuser and the rest of the Accusers were able to rejoin the Kree. The Skrulls were able to come back under one ruler again. We talked about how the Skrull Empire had fallen apart. Thane is the biggest thing. He was able to leave the Earth with Ebony Maw. And the question is now, what is going to happen with those two, with them being able to leave the Earth? But to close on this book, we actually see the Illuminati are still plotting to work together. And the reason why is because they are the only ones who know that the multiverse is dying. The incursions will continue to happen across the multiverse. Also, we see that they were able to build some kind of prison that can hold Thanos, even though Thanos was left in that stasis cube that Thane had put Thanos and Proximus Midnight in. But the Illuminati are still plotting to figure out how they are going to protect the Earth from the incursions. And this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please hit the like button down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoyed today's comic book video. Later, guys.